This is recording 698. Okay, so a couple of things before I get to decode. Okay, so this is irritating, but like was told to me, it's a perfect example of explaining what Gene Roberts has been up to. So anyway, Gene Roberts is hiding that she is herself. She pretends to be me, Christina Marie Stacia. She steals my life. She steals my legacy. Even her controlling my speech to say legacy. Anyway, well, let me say this to you, Christina Stacia. You are a legacy. You are stopping at nothing to turn in Gene while she is using artificial intelligence to bless your face. Why do you continually attack me, Gene? What did you fucking do? She's trying to steal Christina's legacy and apply it to herself. Christina's legacy was... My legacy was my heart and soul decoding to stop Charles Manson and to stop the Ku Klux Klan and to make the world safer and to turn in Gene, which is still my objective. Gene has tried to steal it, racket it, and commit more crime. And then she blushes my face using AI. It's because you're not white and privileged and precious. No, I'm white. I am not privileged. I'm trying to get my life back together while I turn Gene in. Anyway, so Gene poses, she steals my decode and pretends to be me. Okay, you know she's nearly 80, you know I'm 54. So you know we're both Caucasian females, okay? My family is Latin and Black. Her family is white. She pretends to be me. She pretends that my children are her children. She just completely disowns Jesse and Francesca. I wonder why you disown Jesse and Francesca. She pretends like they just don't exist. Unless she's in my brain telling me that the cartel kidnapped Jesse. And then the CIA's got him super secret safe. I mean, just stupid ass bullshit like that. But anyway... So, Al Sharpton was on for Thanksgiving. They were giving a speech. And Gene Jernigan Roberts, was ice raping his entire team on TV. They had just got done ice raping the reporters on this set of Fox News and tried to real quick do their mic dropping and tell lies. And then they slammed a door on the set. So whoever slammed the door on this set, now I don't know if the door slammed on purpose or if she ice raped someone or if it was a sound effect, but y'all can figure that out. But that was Gene Roberts doing that, pretending to be black. Okay. She's doubling down on her string of media placement commercials, which her ass got told off for this weekend. Because I make fun of her because she's Gene the Third. She's a Viking. Gene has tricked people into using her name, Gene. She has also tricked people into saying that this is all they're doing. And she's just one of the guys and she just doesn't know what Christina's talking about. She just don't know what I'm talking about. She just doesn't know anything. She's just precious. When Gene is the one who has killed civil rights leaders, Gene has killed presidents, Gene herself. Gene is not symbolic of anyone else. I know Gene has her fantasies, but Gene has tricked people into going along. And in the past, 48 hours, I would say past 24 hours, I've seen on TV, people throwing voices to people on TV, them saying African Americans saying that Gene is, some people say, it's a game. Uses for black and white people, please, because white people say the same thing black people do. Because otherwise, Gene Roberts are white people. So, it's a game They have to lie. They're paid to lie, which you guys already know that. I already told you guys that, CIA. They're paid to lie. They can't break from lying. They have to lie. They know that I'm not lying about anything. They know that Gina's lying. They know this is a libel racket. And Jean is running the entire damn thing. Jean Jernigan Roberts, NavyGal27 at yahoo.com. Jean has herself, which is hilarious, Jean has herself portrayed as some bodacious freaking sex kitten on TV by hiding under and using American actresses, which people are showing me. Jean, they know that Jean is guilty. Jean thinks she's being adorned and worshipped and all of that, but what do you think is really going on? So anyway, so she has people, and she's ice raping Al Sharpton's team, and then she has the lady on the left. She's controlling like her head movements and her speech, and she's talking in sideways language. And it's the white person that always goes, yep, 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 yep. And then like mic drops and stuff with Jean. And they're pretending to be, and Jean keeps wearing my shirt. Yesterday I had on my house music t-shirt, and she has on my house music t-shirt, and she's act like she's talking in their ear. And it's just a bunch of stupidity. It's total. I can't even pay attention to what Al Sharpton is saying because Jean is ice raping the crap out of them because she doesn't want anybody tearing up her name. Jean is white. She's privileged. She's precious. She's successfully tricked everyone. Now, if everybody could just bow down and comply to white supremacist Jean, that's all Jean wants. It's fucking insane. She wants to get away with lying about me. She wants to get away with committing terrorism. And she just wants everybody just to comply with her. So anyway, it was just a bunch of like ridiculousness. So anyway, I don't even remember where else I was going to say whatever. Let me get back to it. It's not what, stop controlling my speech. Okay, so let me get to decode. Okay, so home explosion in Albuquerque. I don't know if I reported this to you in the last recording, but she committed that crime. Okay, so remember I told you in the last recording that I'm coming down with laryngitis? Well, my roommate has a full case of laryngitis. It's obviously how I got it or whatever. But anyway, as I was thinking about the word laryngitis, I'm like, oh my God, she freaking did that too. Larry is in laryngitis. Okay, and then also, I was like, what is Jean's, I'm like processing in my brain, what is Jean's freaking, she's a name collector. Okay, if you've got a certain name, you better believe she is all over you, and she's been all over you your whole life, okay? She is a freaking stalker from hell. So anyway, Larry is one of the names that she collects in her cornucopia or her vernacular of people she stalks, okay? She loves Larrys. Okay, so I'm like, what is with the Larry? Okay, like I don't know what anybody thinks of. Larry lived underneath me when I lived in Globe, Arizona, East and Cottonwood when I was little. Larry was an assistant manager at AJ Bayless. His girlfriend, I swear to God, I think it was Jean Jernigan Roberts. I swear to God, I think she lived underneath us in the house. But anyway, so she's very obsessed with Larrys. There's a whole bunch of freaking Larrys, right? So I'm like, what is with the name Larry? So then I'm like, well, you got Lair, and then E, and then also her obsession with Hillary Clinton. Hillary has Larry in it. Oh my God. That's one of the prettiest names in the world, too. I love my name, too. Jean Roberts has torn the hell out of my name, too. So anyway, she's got an obsession with Larry. So anyway, Larry is in laryngitis, which is no coincidence, Silent War, and then also Laverne is in that. Also Lakota is in that. Also Kathy Hoda is in it. Also Christine Amanpour is in it. Also Lake Powell is in it. Also Lake Mead is in it. Also, Hoover Dam is in it. Also, Glen Canyon Dam is in it. Also, Mount Rushmore is in it. So all of that goes together. It's a bunch of different pieces. It all connects together. Also, something else that Jean Roberts did, she did the World Trade Center attack. So this is, stop rolling my speech like this is super cash. So anyway, another thing that she did, yes, I know she stole the notes off my phone. She told me she stole the notes off my phone. She goes, ha ha, I stole it from you. Everybody's already got it. Ha 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 ha. She freaking did that in my ear. I was like, bitch, you are fucking done. So anyway, so somebody pointed this out to me before when I was at the airport, but they were making a joke and I didn't get it. Like, they were just being silly and I didn't get it. And then I was like, oh my God, it hit me again. I was like, oh my God. So, okay. So anyway, the airplane pillows on an airplane are, you know what those look like, right? Okay, so she even used those. And then what is the initials of airplane pillows? AP, Associated Press. Okay, so, and then press and then iron. Okay, so those are referring to snakes. So she's with the airplane planning to do the World Trade Center attack and using the airplane pillows. She's bragging about future, which is present day to the end or till it's stopped, snake terrorism. And she's bragging about the silent war, doing a silent war, even before she did the World Trade Center attack. And then also billows of smoke. She did that. Stop now. So anyway, okay, in regards to her committing that crime in D.C. where she shot the 2 guards, her shooting of 2 people in D.C. was committing an act of vengeance, which is a typical pattern of hers, based on me posting myself and my friend Alicia on the White House Facebook page. She also, in my brain, the usual conspiracy crud she says, she keeps telling me that they're alive or they're not alive in my brain. Jean always does that in every big crime. She sensationalizes it by inserting conspiratorial crap. And then also, I was trying to write on my phone where I was saying, well, I was trying to explain, you got to understand, my speech is controlled by Jean, okay? And they know what she was trying to do. You're trying to say, Jean is claiming that there's a team of people and that they're black, okay? So Jean people, so I'm like writing Jean people, and I'm not writing Jean people. Jean's Patagonia Jeffrey Dahmer motherfuckers controlling my speech, where I'm literally trying to type a sentence out. Okay, there is no team of anything. So anyway, then she tries to upset people by focusing on what she ices my speech or my typing or whatever. You see how she puts typos? Like, you can see me typing on the screen on YouTube. You see how she messes with my fingers so different words come out? Okay, that's ice rape. She's ice raping. Well, I'm trying to form a freaking sentence. And she's like, no, I'll just do what I freaking want. So anyway, that is Jean doing that. So anyway, Jean is not black people. And then someone told me, Jean Roberts is the one that told you there's history behind the word Jean, which is the same line she tried to feed African Americans. And then African Americans said, no, that's French. But there is African American ancestry in it, but that does not necessarily mean that came from African Americans. Jean is trying to pull a fast one, trying to hustle African Americans. Okay? And Jean Jernigan Roberts, that's the name that she goes by. That's not her real name. Okay? So actual people who are named Jean should be wanting to fucking smack Jean Roberts across the face, which they do. So Jean is trying to hustle people. So she's trying to they get it. She likes to cause confusion and chaos and stuff by name. and wreak havoc everywhere. That's what you call Charles Mansoning. I'm talking about Jean Jernigan Roberts. Okay, so anyway, they pointed out to me her tearing up my speech like that, where I'm trying to like type on my phone, trying to say like the Jean people, like the Jean group of people, those are African American. That's what Jean is trying to say to me. And I'm like, no. Okay, so she ice raped your writing. Okay, I am speaking. Please stop speaking through me. She used ice rape on my writing so she could run a little miniature coffee cup racket and run around and lie. Okay, that was an act of vengeance also, because everybody figured out a trick who has ability to communicate mental telepathy, and that is to use no pro, no prep, no point in mental telepathy. And then you can find out exactly who the criminals are. So that means using no pronouns, no prepositional phrases, and no pointing. Like in my brain, there's brain visuals and people pointing here. So talk without any direction. She gets pissed. See how instantly I start talking again, and I've got pronoun. Okay, she gets pissed. Because it's some sort of AI freaking game they're doing, and so there's no way for them to ping pong back and forth, which Jean is doing, and she always wants it in her court. So if you talk no pro, no prep, no point, Jean has no freaking control, and you can easily identify who all the criminals are. Another one of her Kentucky moves, she's a Cyclops. She's KKK. Okay, so somebody else pointed this out to me. You know, she iced me from birth. She's been using eye on me since I've been born. Okay, she did that so she could do switcheroo later based on her being in the Ku Klux Klan. So she did that with the spin on the word Cyclops. So Psy versus CY versus PSY. You know, her obsession with para. Ooh, she even did that para. Fucking stop. You people are fucking sick. I'm like, somebody tried to say paraphernalia drugs, and then her fucking people start being fucking vulgar and touting their freaking feed them anything they want overlord Jean Roberts, who I'm turning in. I'm telling you, there's sick people that she has connected in my brain. They're freaking sick. So anyway, what the parapsychological. Okay, and then the ESP and all that. And then, of course, the ops, because then, like, I try to tell on her, and then she tries to pretend that I'm her, like I'm some Ku Klux Klan wizard or whatever the fuck, and she pretends that she's me, and she's super secret agent psyop is what she is. The leftover freaking fringe from the go-go 60s. So anyway, I am not Ku Klux Klan. Stop trying to put Jean at me. So another Kentucky move of hers, okay, is comparing the Tower of Babylon to my reports against her. Okay, so CL Code, Tower of Babylon, CL Code, she's blasphemizing scripture doing that. So then I was told, my podcast is making reports against her. My podcast is not the Tower of Babylon. For even to infer that about me is her committing blasphemy. And my podcast is no different than CNN or Fox News or anyone else making reports. I'm just making reports as CIA Secret Service against a terrorist. Anybody trying to spin it around is a freaking terrorist. And they're committing blasphemy. And that would be Jean Jernigan Roberts. So anyway, and even her forcing me into this position is even more diabolical. Then also something else, 1976 AIW Blue Swing Code, and more on that. So somebody also pointed out my birthday, 1/11/13/1971. The triangle, the Pagaratham triangle in my birthday. They pointed out a whole bunch of stuff. I decoded my birthday already. I already decoded it all, but Okay, so blue swing, and then compared to a regular swing, okay, so the blue swing was basically like 3 metal tubes. So then if you have 3 minus 5 and you put the 1 down the middle, it makes it a rectangle with so it makes 2 AB, 2 ABC, 2s. Okay, so 3 and then 1 and 1 and then 5. And then here's something else she did. Okay, there's a picture of her that she took in Rio de Janeiro with her arms stretched out. And she did that to Kentucky Move Under and impersonating my family. And she likes to call herself Jesus. Remember, I decoded. She calls herself Jesus. Jean Roberts. She wants everybody worshiping her. To hide under my first husband, who I used to have an old picture of him, and we were at a biblical retreat, and his arms are stretched out. He's in the snow, and he's wearing a blue sweater, and his arms are stretched out. And then Jean is wearing in front of Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so this goes, so she's like trying to hide under him and trying to act like she's in the back of my brain going, thank you, telling her lies as if people don't know all your lies, Jean, knock it off. So anyway, that's getting them upset because now they know even more. Okay, so not at Jean's damn lies. They don't care about Jean's lies. They're talking about more about the pictures. So anyway, so Jean is in front of the statue of Jesus in Rio de Janeiro, okay? So she's got her arms stretched out like she thinks she's Jesus. It's insane. So anyway, here's something else to point out to you that she did. The arms stretched out, your arms stretched out, okay? That's signifying Jesus on the cross for one, okay? So she's saying that she's Jesus, but it's also signifying the towers. Your arms are the 2 towers falling, okay? And then the World Trade Center. And then your arms represent arms, like as in guns. That goes to 1979. And then that goes to Babylon, the Tower of Babylon. So what she did was completely satanic. And here's what's supposed to creep you out. You're supposed to look at your arms and you see 2 towers there, but then what else do you see? Robot arms. So then everybody finds out that she's been using AI on everyone. And when you try to tell on her, it's too late. She's been icing everyone. So again, she makes it look like it's the Middle East, but you can tell that it's not the Middle East doing that. Is Jean Roberts doing that. And then also your elbows bending. Okay, that goes with the exit part of the 9/11 ciphers. And then they were like, okay, so the World Trade Center attack, if that would be your arms, then the Oklahoma City bombing would be the legs. But I don't know how to break all that down to show that it's the legs, but I can tell that it's legs. Okay, so then this decodes even more. So if you put this on her terror dial clock, so on clock hands, it goes to 17, which is 1/2 on the clock, and butterfly, and then the butterfly would be 4 of 6, 2 sets of 6. So then it would be monarch butterfly, then the butterfly effect, and then CL code Nostradamus. So then I went back to Nostradamus again, and everything is there. It's easy to decode at this point. The only thing I'm noting that's new there that I haven't decoded is in some medieval folklore, butterflies are believed to be witches who stole milk and butter, and they were associated with butter being left uncovered. So, CL code, milk and honey, and then butter from butterflies. So that tells you that Jean Roberts and her Charles Manson occult did the World Trade Center attack. So that is for that right there. And then let me see if there's more. There's still more here. Okay, so then this is more decoded ciphers, but it's not all connected together Like there's still a bunch of missing pieces, but I'm like, here's enough. SPIO and then HEN in parentheses, then BA, then spiral back, then SLEADIOA, then seed SEAD, and then gavel GAVL, and then R, and then A, and then PLOMO, and then Pompeii. And then, so this is more decode that all goes together. And then somebody in my brain, Middle Eastern, said something really cute to me. I'm just going to keep it to myself. And then, let me see. That's it for right now. I haven't checked to see if she's committed more crimes, but that's it for right now.